look, hear me out. This game has to have one of the worst titles for SEO in history. So this symbol right here is the title of the game. That's pronounced Delta V. And keep in mind, I'm just a humble musician. I'm not a science lord. But as far as I'm aware, Delta V refers to the mass you require in order to change direction in space. I think that's like an ultra simplistic explanation of it. So like if you go in this way, but you want to go that way, the Delta V is how much mass you need to apply to your ship to change direction and go that way, I think. Listen, we're going to play a little bit of Delta V today, but first, a message from our sponsor.
Brothers in Arms, Utility and Reliability in Cybernetics.
Alright, welcome to Delta V. I got a key for this a little while ago, but I've only just gotten around to playing it now. It's in early access currently, so there'll be a link in the description to the Steam page there. It's a top-down mining sim with a career mode. And honestly, I think it's struck the perfect balance between quality of life, like concessions made to make it easy and fun to play, and then having enough complexity that you can actually sink your teeth into it and get a real sense of ownership and accomplishment from the career aspect of it. So just to rattle off a couple of features here, we've got crew that will give us extra abilities while we're out on a dive. We've got a bunch of equipment we can upgrade our ships with. There are, I think, I've only seen 4 different kinds of ship currently, and they all seem pretty different. We'll walk through all this stuff a little bit later. I want to get into a dive and show you what the gameplay is like straight up. There's also mineral markets, so you can go to the moon, diamond hands, which is nice. You have to repair your ship. There's tunings, which I haven't really delved into. There's many different ways to mine too, which is what's really captured my imagination. I've bought 2 ships so far, and they mine very, very differently just based on the equipment that I've upgraded them with. Anyway, let's go out on a dive. Alright, so these are the rings of Saturn, and we can choose where we dive in here. Now, I do have enough money to go in this far. You know what? Let's do it. Usually I slide in right over here. So if you look up there, it's indicating how much it's going to cost to go on this dive. Because presumably there's like navigation fees and that sort of shit. It's all very realistic and dystopian. You got to pay for everything. So usually I like to hit like this sort of area here, but let's throw caution to the wind. This is for the video. This is fine. Let's go as deep as humanly possible. And let's see if we can get to the good shit over here. So this is going to cost 75,000 E-bucks, whatever that means. Let's do it. Welcome to the Rings of Saturn. This is our ship. It is the starting model, but it's heavily upgraded. These doodads on the side are not standard. These are aftermarket. I'm not going to deal with them just yet because I want to show you like the basic gameplay first. So we've got a couple of controls. We've got like manual controls and we've got autopilot. And man, it's really not difficult at all to control your ship. If you're careful, you shouldn't crash into anything. And that's good because you have to repair your ship if you do. Look, we'll get into that later, but let's keep going here. So I'm going to use the arrow keys. This is all default controls, by the way. I'm going to use the arrow keys here to do our autopilot. So this is all Newtonian physics. This is the real hard shit. If you're going in one direction, you cut your engines, you got to keep going in that direction. So you need to apply greater force than your current trajectory in order to change direction. All right, so let's just keep going here. So we're on autopilot, and it's going to keep us steady. And you may notice when we zoom in here, you can occasionally see little... Come on, show me, buddy. Anyway, there you go. There's one. It's keeping us steady automatically. But then if we want to go manual, we can. So these are the WODs here. And then it gets a little bit off the rails. But sometimes you got to go manual. Sometimes you do. You can also steer with the mouse. Right-clicking will change your trajectory, and then you sort of click and drag the direction you want to thrust. And then X will lock into autopilot and like stop you. But if you have something targeted, X will match speed with it. And look, I just love the interface on this. If you look at that, we're locked in now, right? The sort of circle thing is our trajectory, our speed. So now I'm going to speed up here. And it's just really simple. It goes past the object, which indicates that we're accelerating towards it. I love this shit. I love this shit, man. Anyway, let's friggin' shoot something, huh? So I've downgraded my ship a little bit from what I had just to show you a little bit more what it's like to have a standard ship. So I'm gonna shoot something here. And we got little offshoots. Okay, let's slow down. What do we have here? PD, is that, what's PD? Is that palladium? I don't know, man. Anyway, so now we've got a little chunk that we need to follow. Watch to the end of the video because I want to do a little tips and tricks section because it can be a little overwhelming at first. So now we're sliding on in. This is, look, just the slow slide in is what I live for. Look at that. That's worth 9K, man. That's how you know. All right, let me open up the hatch. Beautiful. You love to see it. Easy, an easy, cool 9K. And you'll look at the bottom of the screen there. That's our estimated monies. Oh, you see that one that shot off there? I could tell that was going to be worth a pretty penny. But yeah, so I've got a cargo bay at the moment that will actually process the minerals. It's not super efficient, so I am losing some there. That's why. Oh, hold up. I just bumped into that thing, but it's fine. You don't look. It's not a death sentence hitting something. Only when you do it at speed. All right, so that's the gist of it. That's what it's going to look like when you first jump into this ship. So we've got just shy of 13K profits right now. So now let me jettison my two boys on the side here. Let me have a look at the hockey. What is that? Mining Companion 2 and 3. So let me pop those off. This is the sort of shit I live for, man. There you go. We've got valid player and earned trauma. All right. And herein lies the magnificence. So these are little automated mining drones, mining companions, I think they're called. So we can get them to mine for us with quite a lot of magnificent granularity. So prospect the area and excavate anything valuable. Return to Enceladus, I think is how it's pronounced. It's one of the moons of Saturn. Get back into the cradle, which is back to the ship. So I'm just get them to mine. So now when I go over to the geologist tab, because there's crew, man. We'll go over crew in a second. I'm going to tell them to only pick up stuff that is worth 5K. And I'm going to prioritize the minerals that I know. Oh, no, those ones. The minerals that I know are worth a pretty penny. So this is where the mineral market comes into it. You scope the mineral market and peep out what is worth the most. So I could just sit here and let them do it. Like straight up. They're going to go around. They may even have little microwave emitters. We'll see. They're going to go around. They're going to mine what I've told them to mine and only what I've told them to mine. And then they're going to automatically go back to the station. And then when I return from the dive, I'm going to see what they've picked up. So I could slack off here and not do anything. But you know, we're good miners here. We're going to keep going. So while you're out here, you'll actually encounter random, as far as I can tell, events, and it can be a whole bunch of things, man. We're talking pirates, we're talking rescue ships, just other miners that may share information with you. It also seems that there are possibly quests related to your crew members. Like my geologist right now is looking for a sun, I think. So I haven't quite gotten to the end of that whole situation, but there's certainly stuff going on with that. W? What's W, man? I gotta brush up on my elements. W is profit, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, we've discovered a habitat? This is what I'm talking about. This thing doesn't always show up. Welcome, Cantankerous Honor. Do you have process vanadium for trade? Almost out of drone tool heads? That must be the V element. Well, hey, let's talk to them. See, this is so, like, if it was just about mining, cool. But you got little extra bits thrown in there. Standby for docking. Nothing on board right now, but we'll mine out some for you. Sorry, no mineral processing on the ship. We do have mineral processing on the ship. So apparently I do have some. But I'm going to say hold off for now. We'll come back and we'll give it to you. I'm presuming... Whoa, no, hang on. Because you might ask, well, hang on. Why not just take it back to the station and sell it? Well, listen. I could sell it to these guys and then keep mining. It's like a double load. It's like a 2-for-1. Yeah, I'm going to tell them we're going to come back. Leave the docking arm open for you. This is really cool. Oh, did they auto-dock me? No, let me go. There you go. Dude, that's really cool. That's friggin' rad. This sort of shit is my jam. Anyway, I'm gonna mine up a little bit. We'll come back. Let's sell some vanadium or whatever it was called to these blokes. Alright, I think we've got piracy. There's piracy afoot. Hang on, let me ascertain who it is. Hello there, Cantankerous Honor. What a nice ship you got there. My ass, where are you? I will not suffer pirates. I don't know where they are though. Okay, there it is. You see that, the red blip over there, I think? I don't think I'm equipped to take them on. I very rarely am. Did I scare them off? I think I scared them off. See, this is the thing, guys. Like, when pirates show up, it's not a death sentence. You don't have to fight them. You can run away, but you also don't have to run away. Depending on what you have equipped, you can take them on. Or, I mean, sometimes it looks like in this case, I've actually scared them off. Like, that will work. And it also depends on your crew. Like, there are multiple times where I've had, like, for example, custom swoops in. And they're like, yo, you got a permit for that shit? And one of my crew members is like, don't even trip. Let me just change the subject real quick. And they're like, oh, okay. We got you, fam. You know, like, there's some shit going on here. It feels alive. It's like alive enough, I would say. It's really got me pogged out of my gourd. All right, so I mean, I could spend a lot more time in this dive. In fact, I'm gonna scoop up. Ooh, hold up! Don't crash. That's fine. I'm gonna scoop up the last of the vanadium. We're gonna sell it at that station. We're gonna head out. Both of my mining companions have already run out of fuel and left to return to the station. So we'll get whatever they've scooped up as well, which should be exclusively the high-paying ores. So speaking of crashing into things, it's also worth noting that you can and will run out of ammo depending on what kind of weapon you have. That you can have microwave emitters, for example, that just run off your reactor. Your reactor can overheat if you overload it, so you need to upgrade that as well. And if it gets damaged, and your ship has fuel, has propellant, so you can run out of that as well. And if you do, then you have to wait for search and rescue, which is fine. That's not a problem. But you have to keep that in mind as well. So with all that being said, what happens if you run out of ammo, but, you know, you haven't got a full cargo bay? Well, buddy, then you improvise, don't you? Then you use your thrusters to break apart rocks, right? In fact, let me show you. Okay, let me slide in the piece here. We'll slow it down, match speed. And I'm going to disengage targeting so I can turn around. This is so good. I love that this actually works. All right, let's back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Stop. Look at that. That's so good, man. Yo, that's a big chunk too. Oh, I want that. All right, let's dock with a habitat here. Should be able to just shimmy on in on this arm. There you go. She's lit up. She knows what's up. Come on, scoop me up, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Scoop me up. You know what? Maybe I'll hang back and let the other one grab me. Let her come to me. Am I right? Scoop me up. Yo. Alright. You love to... Docking clamp secure. Stress nominal. Initializing ore transfer. Love it when you transfer ore, baby. So we've done it. That's it. We've just sent off our goods. Did it say we got like 170 from that? Was that accurate? Because that's like not a bad haul. Alright. So listen. You know what? I'm gonna undock. Ooh, wrong way. This way, please. I'm gonna undock. Now, of course, I could stay out here, and like the smart money would be on staying out here, collecting more V and like funneling it to these guys, and then, you know, getting a whole bunch of other minerals and heading back to the station, having a big old haul. I've certainly got the fuel for it. But for the sake of the video, we're gonna head on back to home base now. We're gonna see what our profits are like, and then I'm gonna take you out on another ship and show you how mining gameplay changes quite drastically when you have a different ship and, more importantly, different equipment. Alright, so let's go to home base. Alright, so we're back at home base, and this is our summary of what we've collected, and it will actually break it down on who collected what. So the Gungnir's Honor, that's our ship, only 27k, but that's because we sold all that vanadium, I think it's called. Oh, by the way, I remember, W is tungsten. That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. I'm not a science man. We sold most of our goods to that station, which is fine. So on top of that, we've got 64 from the earned trauma and 48,000 from valid player. That's not bad. That's like together, that's a whole other ship's hold. So if we load it up and they load it up, like we're making bank here. But with the current setup, dives do take a little bit longer. And look, this is all going to culminate in the tips section at the end of the video. So you can send all this stuff to storage or sell it. Why would you send to storage? As far as I can tell, it's to sell at a later date on the mineral market. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's send it to storage. And let's go to the mineral market. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not super sure how you work the mineral market. And what I mean by that is obvious, like it's pretty clear how you work it, but I don't think the prices move enough to really warrant it. I mean, we've got a little bit of V, we've got a little bit of W, tungsten rather. I can advance time. Let's have a look at the tungsten. 65.15. Let's see if it changes. See, it's so minimal. 65.16. 17, it's going on. And it's dropped. And it's dropping. And it's dropping. I think, is that indicating, I'm not sure if, see, because it goes up and down, so I'm not really sure which way it's going. Now, the vanadium is going up. So if we just keep advancing time here, in theory, we can get a better profit for it. That being said, like, I guess you could also just sit in the market here, buy low, sell high, and advance time, and just diamond hands your way to the moon. But that's no fun. Why not mine instead? Let's just sell everything here. Let's sell it all. It's fine. Sell it all. Sell, sell, sell. All right. So then we go to repairs here. Luckily, we didn't really take too many hits. So at the start of the game, I was repairing everything to full. You do not need to do that. What I'm doing right now is just making sure that everything is a vague shade of green. So these are starting to turn like yellowy brown. So I'm just gonna fix these up here. And it will show like misalignment, wear, choke. And you can compensate a little bit if you have a mechanic when you're in the actual mission. There's so much here, man. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my other ship. So we'll go to the dealer. This is where you buy ships. You can trade ships in too. And that's one of the quality of life features that isn't really realistic, but I love that it's there. The fact that you sell back even damaged equipment and ships at full price. There's no depreciation. It's not like buying a new car and it's already a third of the price as soon as you drive it out of the dealer. I could trade in Gungnir's Honor for over 800,000 credits and buy something else if I want. But I'm just going to switch to Earth's Gambit, which is my other ship here. And this plays drastically different. So let's get into a dive and I'll show you how that works. Oh man, this is absolutely perfect. Perfect timing. What a beautiful coinky-dink. So you'll notice I got this big fuck-off spoiler on my ship. No, it's not for going fast, though you can race in this game. I actually haven't done it, but you will occasionally come across ships that are like, yo, want a race ringer? Nah, dog. I'm out here for the profits, not for the races. Anyway, so this is a big boy weapon. It doesn't use ammo. Instead, it uses your reactor's power. And you'll notice the HUD is different too. The HUD's actually changed from ship to ship, which is a beautiful friggin' detail. And I'm pretty sure you can actually choose your HUD as well. You can go into equipment and you can upgrade to a different HUD if you prefer one over the other. But, you know, I'm used to this one now, so we're good to go. For the most part, it has all the same information. So I'm going to target this big roid here. And let me show you, man. So what I had before was a mass driver. It shoots a projectile, right? Very low tech. The beauty of that is it seems to have great, like, braking power. It will break apart roids quite effectively. But the chunks go flying, man. Now, there's a way to counteract that, and you will see here, I do have little drones that will fly out like a tractor beam to either stop minerals from flying off or pull them in. And I actually have the ones that pull in. I got the more advanced ones. Oh, buddy, this game just gets me. But what I've got here is not quite a microwave emitter, but it's like a microwave emitter on steroids. And this thing looks like this. Charge it up. Charge it up, baby. Charge it up. Look at that. So it will it will actually do like sort of dot microwave damage, which also functions like, look, I'll keep zapping. You'll see. You'll see. It's gonna arc lightning all over the place. It's a big roid, so she needs some work here. I'm scared of overheating the thing too, but I haven't yet. There you go, there you go. So now it's arcing, right? And this is gonna keep breaking shit up, which is so good. And you'll notice, for the most part, it's not flying all over the place. Hang on, I need to go over to my geologist tab and tell my drones to only pull in stuff that is worth a certain amount. I don't want to waste them. Now, there's no reason you can't scoop up everything. When you have a cargo hold that refines on the spot, it's actually fine and potentially beneficial to just grab everything because it'll get munched down anyway. But I don't have that many drones. I need to upgrade my drone capacity before I can really get away with that. All right, so let's start grabbing. See, they're not flying everywhere. I love it, man. I love it. You can also get just a very low-key microwave emitter, which is not very efficient. It takes a long time to break roids. Makes a little more sense to use it on smaller rocks. Whereas what I have right now is so brute force that it actually doesn't really make sense to use it on small rocks. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you actually change the way you play based on your equipment. In this case, I'm going for big roids, and I need to stand back when I do it. I don't really want to show you guys what happens when I don't stand back, but maybe I will if I'm feeling saucy. Essentially, if you're too close while the shit is arcing, then your reactor will overheat and it'll actually shut down. Don't worry, it'll boot back up, but you don't want to damage your ship at all, because then you got to pay to have it repaired, right? All right, you know what? We need some bigger roids. We need bigger beats and bigger rhymes and bigger roids. Give me the, you know what? This is a big enough roid. It's just so satisfying charging it up. Purple zap. Look at it. I love that. One hit. The one hit that keeps on hitting, you know? The gift that keeps on giving. That's beautiful. You don't want to slip in there, though, because you'll be like Jar Jar Binks in episode 1. I'm just a simple man out here looking for profits, you know? Who is this game for? I'll tell you who it's for. It's for everyone who wants to play EVE Online and then ends up just spending all their time mining and feeling bad about their life. In other words, me. Anyway, so I want to give you guys some tips. First and foremost, when you jump into the game, you're going to be like super inefficient and you're not going to have a lot of information. Information is the key. So you go over to crew and make sure you hire a geologist. Price prediction accuracy and mineral discovery range. Price prediction is when you break apart asteroids and you see the minerals flying everywhere, it'll scan them and it shows that little box and it'll show you how much water is in it, how much mineral, and then the estimated price of what that's going to sell for. That's price prediction. Without a geologist, you don't get that at all. So you have no clue what you're picking up. So a geologist is key. And don't worry, with the money that you start off with, before you even go on a dive, you will be able to afford a geologist. Just get the best one you can afford. And then, of course, mineral discovery range is the range at which they will scan. And don't worry about getting like a cheap boy, because they will upgrade. They'll get better at their job as you use them, and then sometimes they'll ask for a raise, and it's up to you to deny them or give them that raise. I'm all for paying people, for what they're worth. So, I give them the raise. Don't you worry about that. So I would say geologist is of the utmost importance. Do not leave without a geologist. Furthermore, let's have a look at cargo bay. So if you can afford it, the first upgrade I would recommend is the cargo bay with baffles. So if you have a look at the representation here. It's got these little doors that once the minerals pass that, doesn't matter what you're doing with your ship, what the momentum's like, the inertia rather, scientific terms, I don't know. Doesn't matter what you're doing, the minerals will not fly out of the cargo bay because the baffles are there to stop that from happening. Now, it's worth noting that the later versions of the cargo bay that refine minerals as well don't have baffles, but you don't really need them because once the minerals go in there, they'll be refined and they'll disappear, so there won't be anything to fly out the front. Now, you might be tempted to go for this thing, but if you have a look over here, it's only got a 40% efficiency on processing minerals, which means, as far as I'm aware, if I'm reading that correctly, that's 60% of what you've taken in will disappear. I don't like that, man. And I gotta say, I did notice a difference between the cargo bay with baffles and the most basic mineral processing cargo bay. I was not making as much money, and it took longer to make the same amount of profit that I was making with the baffles. So I would stick with just the basic baffles cargo bay as long as you can, until you can afford even this one, which is a 70% efficiency. That's a hell of a lot better, man. Just doing more runs with a cheaper cargo bay, it's gonna get you there. Don't you worry about that. It'll get you there. And you might even want to trade in for a different ship that has a bigger cargo bay. That's probably a better bet than going... This, I wouldn't even bother with this thing. Why is this even there? Get out of here. I'm done with you. Get out. Anyway, that's my recommendation. Get a geologist, for the love of God. Get the baffles cargo bay. And then just ride the lightning, baby. I love this game. This is so good. It's just, look, it's relaxing, but with progress, you know? I love a good career mode. I'm just having a good time. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below the like button. Have you played Delta V Rings of Saturn? What do you think of it? And let me know of any other hard science sci-fi games that you really enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. Be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer, out.